$500 million. That's guaranteed payments to them for the gas that we consume. At the time we took over, that World Bank guarantee had been drawn down to zero. Today, through the hard work of the Minister of Energy and the Minister of Economy, we've built that World Bank guarantee back fully to $500 million. And so as a result of that, they have also expanded the amount of gas they are giving us, which we use to generate power. Recently, we've signed agreements with them and the Jubilee partners. The Jubilee partners, we've signed an agreement for them to invest another $2 billion in drilling new wells offshore Ghana in order to increase the amount of oil and gas that we produce. We've also signed with ENI to invest another $1.5 billion in the OCTP field to increase the amount of gas and oil that we produce. But there's a very interesting scenario. Normally, we produce the oil and we export it, and then we import finished products, or we import crude oil to refine. We are just about to make history again. We did it in my first term, but after we left office, it didn't continue. We are about to start to refine our own crude. And so in June, we are delivering a parcel of Ghanaian crude from our own oil fields to the Tema Oil Refinery to process. And that is what we call value addition, because we process, we mine ores like manganese, bauxite, and all the other ores, gold and everything, and then we ship them out to be processed by somebody. And so in that processing, we're creating jobs in that other person's economy. And then the products for which we sent the ores abroad are made into finished products, and those finished products are exported back to us. And so we need to pursue value addition, not only in the mining sector, in the oil and gas sector, but also in the agriculture and other manufacturing sectors. And so I've said that next year, because we're going to buy our cocoa with our, we had to go at the beginning of every season to go and borrow money from the traders. And we use that money to purchase the cocoa. And we collateralize our cocoa beans in advance for that money. So if it's the 2026 season and they give us $1 billion, we collateralize the 2026 beans to them. And so you have to export those beans to them. This year, the Minister of Finance, we've been trying to revitalize Cocoa Board. The Minister of Finance is going to allow Cocoa Board to float a bond by itself to raise the money that it needs to buy our cocoa. And so we are going to use our own money to buy our own cocoa. And I've said that if we use that money to buy the cocoa, it's not collateralized. 50% of those beans must be processed locally in Ghana. Because we export all those cocoa beans, and the grinding and the processing is done outside, and then the chocolates and cocoa powders and cocoa drinks are exported back to us. We're going to process ourselves, and also export finished products, not only within the continent, under the African Continental Free Trade Area. Cocoa products qualify because almost 100% of the content is locally sourced. And so it qualifies perfectly under the African Continental Free Trade Area. And Ghana should be able to supply virtually the whole of Africa with cocoa products. And so we're going to do that. We also had a problem with independent power producers. A certain amount of our power is produced by private investment. And at the time we came, we owed them about $1.5 billion. There too, the Minister of Finance, Ato, is forcing, working with the Energy Minister have managed to pay down that debt. And what we've done is we've ring-fenced the debt, and we've given them a payment plan, and we've met every single payment to them. And so they also are happy and producing power, and our power sector is stable. So let me just touch on two more things, and then I think I'll give you the opportunity to ask any questions that you want. One is governance. Governance is important. Ghana has progressed in the Press Freedom Index. We've moved up more than 30 places on the Press Freedom Index. Our Constitution guarantees freedom of association, freedom of religion and worship, freedom of movement, and I believe that we are quite well advanced in terms of maintaining those rights. We also are amending the Constitution. The Constitution has served us very well from 1992 to date. But a time comes when you have to amend it so that you make it a living document to be able to serve you for another 30 years or more. And so we set up a Constitution Review Committee, which took the work that had been done under Atamils by the Fiajo Committee, and then we also took the work that had been done under Nana Akufo-Addo by the Chairman's Abonso Committee, and we gave these two documents to the Constitution Review Committee. They did a good job. They presented their reports, and government is finalizing its proposals in response to that report. Once that is done, the process for constitutional review will start. I don't want to bore you with the details, but there are many things that have been identified in there which will go to Parliament. And for those that are entrenched provisions, they will have to go for a referendum. That means all Ghanaians must participate in the referendum to decide what the constitutional review will be. With accountability, a lot of work is going on. We have about 36 active investigations, and we believe that if you serve in government, you must be prepared to be accountable, because the people put trust in you and give you that mandate to serve, and you serve at the will of the people. And so if you serve and you use public office and abuse the trust of the people, you must be held to account. And I have said that we must stop post-regime accountability. Often when things happen under one government, no investigations are done, government is reluctant to prosecute anybody. It takes the next government that comes to take the cases up and begin any prosecutions. And so I've told my people serving in government that the same accountability we're holding the past regime to. If you get involved in an abuse of trust of your office, we will deal with you in the same way. And Mayor in Twi, we say, Aba Yadebotechi, no Yadebeboba. Yes. It reminds me of our President Rawlings of late, blessed memory. He said, Aba Yadebotechi Edaho. And so we're putting in place the structures, and the point is to do as much as possible to prevent corruption. And now technology allows us to be able to do that. The former digital budgetary platform we're using, which is the GIFMIS, is no longer fit for purpose, so we are upgrading it. That will allow us to see in real time how Ghana's money is being spent. And because we're using blockchain technology, if you go in and you put anything there, you can't go back and change it. And so if you put in a fictitious invoice, we will find you out.